And it looks like we are live.
Hello, Gun Nation.
What's going on, everybody?
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, gentlemen, and I use that term loosely.
I know, right? As you should. Well, let's give it a few moments, let some people walk in the door, and then we will get started.
Yeah, we appreciate all the early jumper honors there. Having a little chatting before the chat.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't join you guys. I was window shopping actually, so I couldn't.
He was looking for new nail polish and stuff. So.
I absolutely was.
Nail polish to match his new high heel shoes.
Right.
We live in a modern age. Men should be able to wear nail polish if they choose to.
That's exactly. With it'd be camouflage nail polish. It's fine.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
Very manly.
Yeah, or black.
You know.
You can have your goth days all over again.
Right. Exactly. When you're feeling down in the dumps, you go all black.
Yeah, exactly. So what's going on with you guys?
In good old Oklahoma. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, 17.
I picked up a couple of handguns today, so I'm super happy because it only took 2 weeks this time. Although I'm still missing 3 other handguns that are going on 6 weeks. So I am super excited. I got the Glock 19 Gen 5. Really digging that pistol. And I picked up my P07 in OD green. So pretty happy. Can't complain.
Nice, nice. Now on that Gen 5, is that the standard sights? Are they steel sights? Are they
they're of garbage. I actually have some leftover Ameriglows. I was actually going to ship these to Big Johnson, but I never did. I'm kind of glad I didn't. They're fiber optics. And then I have the 19X night sights. So I actually have options that I don't have to pay for. So I decide what I want to go with, whether the old Glock night sights or the Ameriglow fiber optic. Not sure yet.
Yep. You ought to try the fiber optic. They're actually really awesome. You might really like them.
Got it. You know, I mean, they were pretty nice on my old Glock 19, and so I may just go with that. It's blacked out rear and just the red. Yeah. So we'll see.
I like them. That's what I have on my P07, P09, stuff like that. They work great.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, you can get just a front sight for your new P07 and just take black fingernail polish, since we were talking about it, and black out the dots. That's what I did on mine.
Yeah, the P07 came with the night sight standard.
Oh.
So
okay.
So I'm going to leave them as is.
Oh.
And they're the good ones too. They're not the little tiny, you can't even see on sight. So they're actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Big Johnson, how about you? What's going on?
I am in Oklahoma this week. It's been raining like hell, and just working, and that's what I'm doing the hotel life.
Nice, nice. Well, we've got a question actually kind of right off the bat. It's sort of a question. Dennis Jones is saying, looked at a SIG Legion today, just can't figure out why they are $450 more than a regular P226 Extreme and a P229 SAS. And that is a good question. With the Legion, there's some different things going on there for sure. Not only the coating, but the sights. The trigger, because some of the SIGs don't have the short reset trigger, and I recommend doing that on any SIG. Makes a huge difference. The grips are a little bit different. You get the case and all that kind of stuff. And I am not a SIG salesman. I do what you want to do. But there are some kind of nice things that come with the Legion, and they are pretty exceptional to shoot. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, everything you said, that's exactly what qualifies for Legion. Plus, you'll get your coin. Yeah. You know, you got to get that freaking Legion coin, so you can be in the Legion group, and it's got it's got that coating on it and everything. So I mean, they're very nice pistols. Matter of fact, that the single action one that trigger is amazing on that Legion.
Yeah, I agree. 17, what do you think?
I'm just not a fan of SIG, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I just I don't see why there are so many people who love SIG Sauer so much. I find them to be heavy. I find them to be, slide height is high. It's everybody's personal opinion, but mine is that I just stay away from SIG. Not a fan.
I mean, I think they make great, alloy guns, and I'm a fan of those. But some of the striker fires, I had the 320 forever and loved it, and I just kind of fell out of love with it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think their striker double action, single action guns are pretty proven over time, but they've had some issues with some of their striker fires, as we know.
Yeah, Yeah.
And from what we hear, they continue in the military to have issues with them, with the mags, etc. But, I think one of the worst things they did, SIG did, and I know why they did it for the contract, but they went away from the Metgar mags and they went to the Checkmate mags. And man, I ended up getting one Metgar mag and one Checkmate mag, and the damn Checkmate mag wouldn't even hold the total rounds it was supposed to. I mean, I was like breaking my finger off even with a Maglula. And so I had to send it back to them, and I said, you need to dig in the pile and find me the Italian ones. So then I went on a mission and went around and bought all the Italian ones I could find in stores.
So Reb asked me a 7, and he said that there's a little pin on the extractor, and he said that's new, and he asked if I knew what that was, but I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if I can. You see that little pin there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's new. That's the first time. I've never seen that before.
Oh, actually, I've got one on mine too. Right there.
Did you have the? Is that the? Oh, that's the FDE one, right?
Yeah, got it right there.
Yeah,
so this is
on the black one I used to have.
Yeah, I didn't have it on my older one, but this is a newer one. So I don't know. It's obviously, they're going to have, hell, everybody has rolling changes and don't tell us anything about it. So
Pistol Pete is saying it's a loaded chamber indicator.
Well, mine's loaded.
And is anything going on with it?
So if I unload it, that'll push in. Let's try it.
Don't shoot your eye out.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it went down. Yeah, so it is a loaded chamber indicator.
Oh, nice, Pistol Pete. There you go.
But we have to danger it back up. Sit in here in a hotel room with it.
I know. Video can be flagged.
Never know what could happen. Yep, it actually went right back when I loaded it.
Cool. It's good to know.
Look at that. We just learned something.
That's right. That's right.
Every day we learn something.
But yeah, that's part of the adventure, right?
Exactly. Hey, you got old Coda Boy on here. Hello, Gun Nation.
Hey, Coda Boy.
Hello.
Got a bunch of good people on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Dennis, speaking of good people, Dennis Jones was saying opinions on Rock Island 10 millimeters. Anybody? Any Rock Island Armory 10 millimeters? What do you guys think?
Actually played with one yesterday in the gun store, and it was actually really nice. I was looking for slop in the slide. It was super tight, and the price was unbelievable. It was only like $640 or $690 or something. And but yeah, I mean the trigger, but actually it was brand spanking new, so the trigger is probably going to get better once you break it in. But it wasn't a bad trigger. I mean, I thought it was a pretty damn nice pistol. I think Coda Boy has. I think he has one. No, I don't know. It's not 10 millimeter, but I think he has a Rock Island.
17. What do you think?
I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, there's not a heck of a lot of offerings in the 10 millimeter. So, I had that one 1911 that I was testing for him, and it ran really nice. I mean, it was actually a pretty solid handgun. So if you can get past the fact that it's made in the Philippines and all that other stuff, I don't see why you wouldn't. And like I said, there's not a lot in 10 millimeter. That just seems to be the one round that is not grabbing a lot of manufacturers, which would be nice because I definitely want to shoot one. So I think I'm going to try to get my hands on one to eventually shoot.
Right on.
Yeah. Coda Boy says he has the TAC Ultra FS, and he said it's a good pistol for the money. So I guess he hasn't had any problems with it.
I agree.
So speaking of the TAC Ultra FS, this is a TAC Ultra FS right here. Now this is not in 10 millimeter. It's 9 millimeter and 22 TCM. But I got to say, without giving too many spoilers away for the video coming up, it's a fantastic gun. The build quality is great for the money. They've put a lot of features on the guns. Let's put it that way. So if you're looking at a Rock Island Armory, I don't think that's a bad way to go. I really don't. And I'm pretty snotty about 1911s. And considering what you get and considering what you pay, it's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, Les Bear is building some of their lower ends in the Philippines too. And I'm just like, what? So I was kind of shocked when I heard that. Yeah. But like I said, there's a lot of quality guns that are coming from over there. So, I know there's probably some, junkier ones, but, it had really nice. Didn't have any play in it. I mean, seemed really nice.
Yeah. Well, Scott was also mentioning the SR 1911 and 10 millimeter. I agree too. Those Ruger 1911s, for the money, again, are great quality 1911s. And when people ask me about entry level 1911s, I think those are some of the best out there, and they're a little bit above kind of the standard entry level price, but for the features and the build quality, they're great guns. I mean, it's nice to be able to find 3 or 4 brands, makers, and models that are under the $1,000 mark that are very reliable. They're well built, and you're going to have a really good time with. And SR 1911 is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So Young Guns is talking about the SAR 9. This isn't the first time you guys have brought up the SAR 9. You brought it up a couple of times. I know basically nothing about it. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's actually pretty awesome. Honest has one, and he shot. Or I'm sorry, this is the pistol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have any experience with it. I haven't messed or seen a lot of it. I've seen pictures of it, but I've never even put my hand on. Or no, I have put my hand on one. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, the trigger was okay. It seemed like a pretty nice gun for the price. I want to say it was like in the $300 and something range. It was under $400, and it was new.
It has a lot of its takings from the VP9, you know, the grips and all that other stuff. So, you know, it's not a bad gun, but I wasn't a fan of the VP9 to begin with, so I definitely wouldn't, you know, personally want to get one. But that also brings me to another question. You know, a lot of times when people are starting to look at cheap guns, one of the guns that a lot of people just completely avoid, and I haven't figured out why that is they avoid the M&P. I mean, these guns are right now, if you wanted to get a 4 1/4 inch in black, you can find these going for about $350, you know, $375, maybe $400 max, and then you get a $50 rebate. So, you know, I for whatever reason, they just bypass the handgun, maybe because of the crappy trigger. But, you know, if you think about it, you spend, let's say you throw $350 on an M&P, you go get yourself an Apex trigger, which is about $100. You can probably find it cheaper online, maybe on eBay. So really, technically, you're buying a $450 gun, and you're getting just a premier trigger on it. So I cannot figure out why so many people move past the M&Ps, because they're fantastic. I have no issues with any of them that I own.
Yeah, they're great guns.
Do you think that many people are moving past them, though? I mean, they're a pretty good seller, I thought.
It just seems like, you know, every time people bring up budget guns, you know, like, for example, Mr. Guns and Gear, he did a video on, I think it was the Canic. I think it was either the TP9, SADA, I don't know, ABC, whatever they own. And, you know, he was saying, is this the best budget gun? So I even made a comment in the video saying, you know, wouldn't you think that the M&P would be the best budget gun? Because technically the M&P is fairly cheap, and I consider it more of a budget price for a top tier polymer gun. So I don't know. Sometimes I just think people overlook it, maybe just because there's not that, you know, flashiness when you say Smith & Wesson M&P or something. I don't know what it is, but I just think they're fantastic handguns.
Yeah. I mean, they got a lifetime warranty on them. They're made in, you know, United States. I mean, and like I said, I've had to send in one before, or two, but they fixed them up and no issues, no questions.
Yeah. And Young Guns, I know that it has the Glock slide supposedly, but what I was saying was the grips. The grip is basically functionally a VP9 grip.
Yeah, it looks very similar. I was going to see if I could share the screen or figure out how to do it.
I know how to do it.
No, this is happening.
Oh, there it is. Woohoo!
Bang! Right there.
I mean, I like the front serrations, but you know, I definitely I don't know, you know. And how much is it there, KS?
I am trying to find a price here. We got our technical specs. I don't see a price on here.
Free.
Head over to Gunbroker.
All right, I'll head over to Gunbroker, but here I'm going to stop sharing for a moment.
We're going all technological on you guys.
Oh man, very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just got the, you know, the 45 here, and I paid $3 1/4 for this thing. I mean, that's awesome.
At first glance, I don't see much in the way of SARS on here. But what they do have is pretty inexpensive. I mean, we're talking around $300 or so.
Yeah, and Scott P has a question, or he's making a comment. He said he got to play with a CZ Shadow Tactical 2. He's probably thinking Shadow 2, and he honestly thought it had a better trigger in it than the TSO. Now, also CZ has came out with an SPO1 orange, and I've had a bunch of questions saying, "Oh, I just bought, the orange," and I was like, "Oh, cool." Then they came back and said, "No, it's the SPO1 orange." And I've seen those. It's like an SPO1 with the orange grips on it and stuff. But I've never seen a Shadow 2 that had a better trigger than the TSO. I mean, that's a 1.5 pound trigger. But hell, I could be, unless there's something, because I even played with the Accu Shadow 2, and it has a super nice trigger. It's a little better than the Shadow 2, but I didn't think it was a TSO trigger. Speaking of that, how are you liking the aluminum trigger in yours?
Love it. I absolutely love it. It feels great. I mean, the TSO is pretty incredible to shoot. So I'll be excited to bring that around for review. But really, it's if I could only have one, that'll be a lot more fun and challenging, to say the least. But it's it's a work of art, man. It really is.
Yeah. Aren't you doing if you could only have one against the TSO versus the Glock 19?
I was actually thinking the Glock 42 would be more appropriate.
There you go. Okay.
Pretty excited for
that. We do have a question. What are our thoughts on the Glock 42? And that's from William.
17, what do you think?
It's a Glock. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have a 19 and 19X, and I'm fairly happy with them. I think the Gen 5s are actually surprisingly nice. I didn't think I was going to like it so much, noticing that they did bevel the frame this time as opposed to when they first released them, although it's not perfectly matched up. So, I mean, it looks like they went back and listened to some people, and I think that's good. I mean, I like Glocks. As much as you try to bash them, there's just something inherently good about Glocks. And I think a lot of people realize that, obviously the size for the 19, and I'll speak about the 19, but I think it's the ultimate carry gun. Obviously for me, these two, the M&P 2.0 Compact and the Glock 19, in my opinion, are just fantastic carry guns. I mean,
yeah,
if it says Glock, I think it's a good gun, period.
Well, he was asking about the 42. Do you have any experience with the 380?
No. And I would never. I know he was talking about the 42, but I don't have any. I don't have a 42, and not to mention I wouldn't want to own a 42 because it's a caliber that I just wouldn't carry. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. What do you think, KS?
I like the 42 quite a bit. I think it's a great gun. I actually prefer it over the 43, believe it or not. I think it's a little bit more fun to shoot. It's a little bit smaller. Of course, it's more expensive to shoot, of course, but I think the 42 is a good gun, and most people can shoot it and have a little bit of fun with it as well. So I don't have a problem with it at all. But I'm a fan of Glocks. I like pretty much all of them to one degree or another.
If I was going to carry a 380, it would probably be a 42. I do like the trigger, the best for a 380. I've been the gamut with the M&P, little 380, and it's a horrific trigger. And then the little LCP 2 is not bad. I've actually shot it, but I still think the 42 is a better shooter than the LCP 2. But I didn't shoot them side by side on the same day, so it just, I was going back to memory on it. But I think it's a nice little 380 if that's what you want to carry. But in a 380, I don't care if it's summer, winter, whatever. In a 380, I would only carry full metal jacket, period. Yeah. That extra penetration, I don't care if somebody's wearing a damn T-shirt in the summertime. That's what I always carried in mind, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uncle Dan, the 42 is a 380. Yeah, okay. But in the 43, I don't really think is that much bigger, is it?
It's a little bit bigger.
I mean, it's not drastic.
They don't know it's not drastic, but they certainly don't fit in the same holster or anything like that. You can get a tiny bit more grip perhaps on a 43, but not by much.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, and then the 238, Range Randy is talking about the SIG 238 is his choice for a 380, and that is a very nice pistol. It just depends on what you're wanting, how much you're wanting to spend, etc. And yes, Frank, I can only get 2 fingers on an LCP tube, and that's not a lie. I had to. It was pretty funny trying to shoot it, but I could shoot it. It was just very small.
Oh, we have a problem. Rabbi isn't able to send a super chat, so everybody else give it a try. See what happens.
Yeah.
I can't say that with a straight face. Rabbi, that's very nice of you, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think it's turned on.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, but let's see here. Did we miss any questions?
Well, no, I don't think so. And Gerald was saying there's some hollow points now for 380 that get good penetration, and I've heard the exact same thing. I mean, I actually carried full metal jacket when I carried a 380 as well, just because that's kind of what I understood to be the most effective. But I think the ballistics have certainly gotten better, and there are some good brands out there that are making very good 380 ammo. I mean, I know Fort Scott makes some really good ones. There are some good brands out there. So, there's no shame in a 380 whatsoever. I think it's a fine round, and if that's all you can carry, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the only reason, and I mean, they had the ballistic, the hollow points and stuff when I carried a 382, but the way that I was looking at it is if I had to shoot through a car window, or if I had to, maybe have a little more oomph where a hollow point could fail, that's what I was looking for, or if somebody had on a thick coat or something, I just wanted a little more oomph, and I knew that I could get it with those.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a personal opinion.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Texas teacher is saying in a year or two, Glock or Smith & Wesson will have a rival for the 365. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, when we were talking about that, when it was coming out and stuff, I was like, I made the comment, I wonder who's going to try to copy it first. Or I know they can't exact copy it, but come up with something quick. And, my vote was, or, my suggestion was probably M&P. Not saying, it just seems like Glock, like when the 42 came out and then the 43 came out, they were kind of the last to jump on those bandwagons. So I don't know, maybe Smith & Wesson, but I think someone will come out with it if they're not already working on it.
Well, now, and you might laugh a little bit, the Glock technically has one.
Yeah, the rotating.
And some people may argue with this a little bit, but the 26, although heavier and a little bit bigger, it's the same idea. I mean, it's a double stack. It's a relatively small gun. Some people would say it's somewhat pocketable. I'm obviously stretching things a little bit, but I think Glock would probably say, no, we have what we have, and we're good with that. At least that's my impression.
Could be. Yeah.
15?
Huh? Were you asking me a question? I'm doing something with my handgun. That's why.
Yeah, we could tell. Do you think anyone else is going to be coming out with something similar to the 365? Some competition for that gun?
I don't know. I mean, I know this is going to get people, riled up, but I just don't see the what's the word I'm looking for? The attraction of the P365. Just, I don't see anything about that handgun that makes me say, ooh, gotta have one. And, I know some people say, oh, it's a micro carry, you can hide it. You can hide any gun you want. You just have to dress around the gun. And why would you give up the ability to have a full grip or even, a compact grip, as opposed to a micro grip? Like, I just don't see that as being, for me personally, a main gun that I would ever go with. It's just personal thing, man. I just don't see it. I mean, I'm sure if the market demands it, of course they're going to make it. You probably would see one. I don't think you'll see one from Glock, only because Glock is so stubborn about their designs, and so I don't see them ever trying to change anything dramatically to do that. I really don't see Smith doing it. I just don't know if it's got enough staying power in the micro carries. I know some people are against that and saying, oh, well, why wouldn't you carry it? It's 10 rounds, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's not for me.
Gotcha.
The only thing that and we've talked about this before with the really small pistols, like, the LCPs or the 42s or even the 365, you know, for someone with bigger hands and stuff like that, and of course you can carry an appendix 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, wherever the hell you want to carry it.
Right.
But in a panic situation, you know, taking your big paw and going down and trying to grab that little grip. I mean, and you know, it all comes with training too, but you know, you just don't know. I would rather have something a little larger, like the Shield is the smallest pistol I'll carry, just because I can get my hand on it very well. But that, you know, it all goes back to personal opinion, and most people don't have gorilla hands, so they can grab a normal gun. But you know, I just want to feel comfortable with the grip I'm going to put on the gun in that situation if I were ever put in it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to totally change the subject a little bit, Bengal Blitz, hopefully I'm saying that right, has a question. Do you have any recommendations for a double action, single action CCW pistol? Carry shield with the safety on it now, but want to carry without a safety in double action, which would feel safer to me. What are your thoughts?
I know where this conversation is going to rightly go.
I read that question and thought the exact same thing.
Yep. P07. Great pistol, and it does have the decocker, so you can carry it decocked and you're ready to roll. And that's 15 with a +2, so that's 17 rounds. And it carries great. I don't have any issues with it. But, you know, it also depends, like we've talked about, how you dress, your body type, where you carry, you know, what's comfortable to you. But, and you can't beat the price on it either. It's a great pistol, and, you know, hell, $420. And I've never had an issue with one, so.
Yeah. 17?
I don't think you can go wrong with anything CZ in that realm. Carry pistol for me, if I could only choose one CZ, would obviously be the P01. I just think it's the best of both worlds, aluminum frame or aluminum alloy frame, steel slide. It's got a nice feel in the hand, fairly accurate handgun. You know, obviously you can go with a P07. You know, but you know, and for the money, obviously the cheaper of the two, the P07 would probably be the one you'd want to go for just because of the price. But if you can get a P01, I'd go with a P01.
Yeah. And I mean, I love my Sphinx also. You know, it's a great pistol, but it's not all polymer, but it's a great pistol too. What do you think, KS?
I would actually go with the P01 as well. I think it's a great gun, and I think it's relatively inexpensive for what you get. It's a great quality gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot, and I prefer the Omega version, but I think they're great guns. They really are.
Holy crap! Did I just hear that right?
Wow, what was that?
Where you said Omega, I was like, damn.
Yeah. So
with either one you can find. Good luck trying to find the Omega. I heard that they're like 16 months out because they just don't produce enough of them.
So I should I share this story, Big Johnson?
No, you shouldn't.
Didn't share it? Okay, I won't share it. We'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So REB has another question. This for the next pistol will be an RMR cut model. I have it narrowed down to the SIG 320 or the FN Tactical. Any opinions? What do you guys think?
Okay. I mean, I have an FN. It's an FNS, and it's not the RMR, but and I've had the 320. Between those two, hands down, I would go with the 509 Tactical. Hands down, no questions.
What are the 509 and what else?
And the 320 with the RX.
Oh God, the 50. I mean, I'll never be able to own a Tactical in our slave state of New York, but if I could choose, I would definitely go with the FNN.
Yeah, I would as well. Absolutely love this gun. It's been a lot of fun finally through the RMR on it, and it's just awesome. Now, here the bummer is it's a little bit more expensive than the SIG, but I think you're paying for exceptionally good quality, and it's a tank of a gun, and I think well worth it.
Yeah. I mean, for what you get with everything, I mean, if you were just to buy a gun and put all that stuff on it, you know, a lot of people, and we've talked about this before, about the pricing on it, you know, for the threaded barrel, the suppressor night sights. I mean, you know, the extra, you know, 24 round mags. I mean, that's a hell of a deal. And over a period of time, you know, once they're in the market and they've really stabilized, you know, they could come down a little bit. But, I mean, I love the FNS, and, you know, I definitely would love to have the 509 too, Tactical.
Yeah, but do you also think though that maybe this whole thing with the you know, suppressors and all this other crap, I mean, do you think it's a little bit I don't know, I guess gimmicky. I mean, let's be honest. How many of you guys are carrying with a suppressor? You know, are you going to carry your gun with a suppressor?
It's not all about carry though. I mean,
well, but I think it is. I mean, for me, you know, again, it's all about why do you have guns? I mean, some people have them to be trophies. Some people have them just because they want them, or do you actually carry them? You know, I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Do you carry them or do you not carry them? And if you carry them, how many of you are carrying with a suppressor?
yeah,
Well,
there are a lot of people that have guns that don't carry them all. I mean, you have them for different purposes. Some are collections, some are for range, some are for competition, some are for carry, some are for display. I mean, people can have them for a variety of different reasons.
They carry them all.
I 100% agree with you that most people are probably not going to be carrying with a can. Absolutely true. However, a lot of people have cans, yours truly included, and there's nothing more fun than going to the range, whether inside or outside, throwing a can on and having just a very different experience with shooting. So I see what you're saying. I wholeheartedly disagree, but I see what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from. But people have different, guns for different reasons.
Well, I have the most valid point in the world, and I don't know if either one of y'all have done this, but I have. Have y'all ever shot a gun in a house with no ear protection?
No, don't want to.
I have. You know, it was a condemned house, but we did. But I'll tell you what, if you were asleep in the bed and you had your nightstand gun with a suppressor on it and you had to jump up and shoot, it's not gonna affect you, your family, or anything. I mean, I think that, this Hearing Protection Act should have passed 100,000 years ago. We shouldn't even have a freaking tax stamp. That's a bunch of bull crap in my opinion. And I would like to say more, but yeah, I mean, we have mufflers on cars because we have to. So why the hell can't we have a muffler on a gun? That's all it is, period.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point.
So, I want to protect my hearing and my family's hearing if someone breaks into my house. And that's the easiest way to look at it. And yes, if I were out in the woods or whatever, I would have a holster and I would have my suppressor on my gun in the holster and I would wear it. Not necessarily going into Walmart, but you know what I mean.
Strap down your leg.
Exactly.
So to change the subject a little bit, Johnny Danger is asking for all of us here, any future reviews with the HK USPS? What do you guys think of that?
I think it's a great gun. I personally don't own one. I've shot them. I think they're great guns, but I honestly don't have any reason to purchase one. But I do think they're nice guns.
17?
Yeah, I mean, they're nice guns. I think they're ridiculously priced. I don't like Big John said, I don't see myself ever really getting one unless you can find one that's really cheap. But I don't have a desire for that handgun either.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not on my radar. I like HK. I like them quite a bit, but I stick more to the polymer frame guns than anything else, and more like the P30 or VP9, that sort of thing. What was that one gun we talked about this weeks ago? That it's just ridiculously big. It's like an MK something or other. I forget what it is, but I handled one of those in a 9mm. I mean, the thing literally looked like it was holding a 4x4. It was absolutely massive. Which one is that?
I know. I remember we were talking about the MK3, whatever. I remember it, but I don't remember the number or the name.
Yeah, I can't get behind that. And to 17's point, if your drive is to carry all your guns, I don't see how anybody could carry that gun. It's just huge. It's just huge.
Yeah, and I've seen the 40 cal, USPs. I've seen those things on sale at, used for like 400 and some change. GT distributors in Dallas, they have 3 or 4 of them, and you could get that gun. You could actually buy a conversion barrel if you really wanted to, but I don't think there's anything if you could get a good price on that gun. I don't think there's anything wrong with shooting it in 40 either. 40s don't kick like, I know some people are like, oh my God, they're so powerful. I mean, there's nothing to them, but to each their own.
All right, I'm gonna share this. Here it is, right here.
MK23, that's what somebody's saying?
Yeah,
is that it?
The Mark 23 right there. I mean,
Yeah.
this thing is just, you know, and it doesn't, the picture doesn't do it justice. It almost looks just kind of like a full-size firearm, but if you held one, I mean, it's basically the size of your arm. I mean, it's just huge.
Yeah, it is a beast.
Yeah,
Definitely a cool pistol.
I agree with Texas Teacher. The USPs are kind of long in the tooth. Maybe an update, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, they are some big boys. But hell, they still have a huge cult following. You know, the people that own them, they are diehard lovers of them.
Keenan. Keenan just said, kind of liking the Arex Alpha. Seen a few reviews. Damn it, I'm kind of mad you said that. I was talking with Big Johnson about that the other day. It sort of has sparked my interest as well a little bit. I've sort of talked myself off the ledge on that one, but I think it actually looks like a pretty cool gun. I really do.
It does, but if you are comparing it to a Shadow 2, which I'm pretty sure, I think Keenan does have a Shadow 2 also. They're, and I'm not just saying it because I liked the Shadow 2, but I mean, I compared the triggers and everything, and it's nice, but it's not as nice. And I do think it has some really cool, I like the front, you know, undercut reminds me kind of a Jericho. You know, it's got some cool looks to it, but, you know, for $1,100 with the aluminum grips, I'll stay with CZ all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I agree.
Real quick, Music was asking about this, about the install on the 509, if there are any extra steps or anything. Not at all. It comes with a little diagram, and there are several different plates. There's a tiny little plate right here. You can see the black piece of it. You pick the right one. There are a couple of different ones. I can't remember. This is like number 3 or something. And then you pop the red dot on and screw it on. And I use it's like a Wheeler a torque screwdriver. And it just pops right on. No Loctite or anything like that, because it's got an O-ring that provides a little bit of pressure back up against the red dot itself, and that takes the place of needing any sort of Loctite or anything like that. This thing is rock solid, and then you just pop it right off, and you know, go about your business, or put a different red dot on, put the plate back on. They've made it extremely easy, and it sits incredibly low on the gun. So I've been very impressed with that.
Yeah, I think that compression fitting they came out with was a brilliant idea. I mean, like if you're out, say you're out and you've got a couple of different red dots and you want to test to see which one you like best on the gun. I mean, it's just so quick. I think it's a great, and that could be more of a revolutionary type thing too, where more people might follow suit with that, more manufacturers. A similar, you know, at least to have it milled down so it's not sticking way up on the gun. What do you think of, oh, this is for, well, I was going to say, we can gear it towards someone. What do you think about the Walther CCP M2?
Oh, boy. The Walther CCP. Well, the M1 was, in my opinion, a big old steaming pile of poop. And the M2, I believe, is going to be the same steaming pile of poop with a different takedown. That's about it. I mean, you know, you want to make a really good gun, Walther, get it out of Umarex, period. You know, that's where you make airsoft guns, for God's sakes. I hate the CCP. I think it's the biggest piece of shit Walther has ever made. And I shot it one day and it sold it that same day. I would not trust that gun to protect me. I wouldn't trust it. I think it's a poorly made handgun. And I don't care if you have a lever on the back as opposed to that stupid little, you know, key thing. It's still the same gun. Still the same gun. I mean,
yeah,
that's the only gun I can tell you that I hate. I absolutely hate that gun. I hate it.
yeah. I don't have any experience with it. I held it and I was like, you know, didn't do anything for me.
I mean, they definitely had a good idea just with the size of it, because, you know, it really mimics a lot of the PPQ, you know, and it does sit well in the hand. But my God, it was horrible. It was just horrible. You know, and they talk about, oh, it's easy to rack the slide. If you guys have ever racked the slide of a PPS M2, that's a very easy gun to rack that slide on, even if people have difficulty with their hands. I just don't see the benefit of owning a CCP.
Yeah, and you know, what do you think about it, KS?
I I really don't think about it, actually. It's never been on my radar, never shot one. I think I've seen one time because, you know, doesn't at least one model have a silver top, a
Yeah.
stainless side?
Yep.
Okay, so I think I've seen one a couple of times. It's got the fixed barrel, but no, it's not a thing with me at all.
You know, one gun that I think is actually really cool, but I would never pay the price that they're asking for it now, is the PPS with the little shield RMR on it. You
Yeah.
know, I think it's a really great idea to offer, you know, like especially if you're a carry optics guy and you know you shoot carry optics and you're super used to it and you need that small slender gun for that particular day. You know, I think that's a really good, you know, gun to have, and I hope other people follow suit with that. And I know we've talked about this before, but man, the price there, and I understand it comes with the shield, but from some of the testing that I've seen on it where people drop it and do all that, I mean, that thing folds like a lawn chair. So, you know, I don't think it's where it needs to be yet, but if more people follow suit in the RMR and they start building them that small, man, if they could start putting them on shields and other people could start offering that, I think that's a really cool option to have that, you know, or at least offer it to where if people want to use it, they can. If they don't, they don't.
Mm.
But isn't that gun like, it's like something stupid. It's like $700 or $800, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 700.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow. You know, and maybe it's completely worth it after you shot one. I've never shot one. Matter of fact, I haven't even seen one in a store for sale. From what I understand, they can't keep them. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either. I
On
mean,
Gunbroker, somebody was asking $850 on Gunbroker for one, and I was like, holy crap! But they probably got it. I never looked to see if it was sold.
yeah, you know, I mean, do you even need it on a gun that small? I don't know. You know, what I'd like to see is somebody put a red dot on a P365.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be funny.
So there are a couple of really good questions out here. Harry just asked one a little while ago. Do any of us have a gun that we wouldn't take even if somebody offered it to us for free? Low-end guns don't count.
If you follow me on Instagram, I put that gun up the other day. I was in a gun store and they had one used and it was super, super cheap. And I put out a little Instagram thing and said, should I or should I not? And one gun I would personally, and this is just me and people who own them, I'm sure they're great guns, but I would never own a high point pistol. Those things are fucking boat, or excuse my language, but they're freaking boat anchors. I mean, they weigh 20 pounds.
He said low-end guns don't count.
Said what?
He said low-end guns don't count.
Oh, low-end guns. Ah, crap. Okay. I would never have a Remington R1. And that's probably still considered low end.
That's
1911?
No, the R1. You know, it was that
giant piece of crap.
That piece of junk. But I mean, I guess you could still say that, you know, I think that thing's like $350. I don't know how low end he's talking, but I would never have that gun. I mean, I'm sure there's others, but you know.
17?
For me, it's the CCP. And that I don't consider that a low end gun. I mean, it's, you know, $400 gun. Is that low end? I don't know. I don't think so. But I would say for me is the CCP. If you gave that to me for free, I would give it right back to you, or I'd throw it out the window. I'm telling you, that is just the one gun that I despise, you know, and it's a shitty gun. Sorry, Walther.
For me, it would be anything car. I used to like car many years ago. I do not anymore. They don't agree with me at all. So I would just like 17. I would give it back or throw it out the window.
Yeah. Well, and you and I have talked about this before. You know, I owned the car. What was it? The CW. I think that's the lower one. It was the CW9. Holy crap! I mean, I've got monster hands and everything, but you almost had to be a damn bodybuilder to rack that slide on that thing. And, you know, I handed it to people and they couldn't even do it, period. And these were grown ass men and they couldn't rack the slide on it. I mean, that thing was a beast, you know, and I was teaching them and, you know, I showed a lot of ladies this, that you can't just pull the slide back, you know, to hold the slide and push this hand forward. And I pretty much had to do that to rack the damn gun. And it shot like crap. The trigger was horrible. I think I had it for like 2 weeks and I was like, this is a piece of crap. And anybody that loves car, I'm sorry, but I'm not a car fan.
Yeah, it's not me either. So speak kind of in keeping with the dreaming sort of motif here. Johnny Danger was asking, is there one gun that you want that is out of your price range? So we're talking higher end, but would be willing to part with a few guns to get it if you had the opportunity.
Mhm. I have two. I want a Barrett 50 cal, and I want a Scar 17 heavy.
Nice.
Those are the two. One, but you know, if I had a Barrett, I wouldn't know where the hell I'd shoot it. You know.
Indoor range.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would light some people up.
17.
I actually saw it the other day at my local gun shop. It was a aluminum STI 2011, and I don't know what it was. It was a carry model, but it was beautiful. It was like looking at the Holy Grail. You know, it came out of the cabinet. It was, the light was hitting it. It was shiny, and the trigger was just phenomenal. Ergonomics were amazing. The gun was just buttery smooth. And then I saw the price tag and said, yeah, that's never going to happen.
For me, it would be the Wilson Combat EDC X9.
Yeah.
I think those things are just badass guns. I truly do. They are beautiful. I did get to hold one at Frontier Justice. They didn't even have it out on display. They basically whispered it to a few people, and one of the people bought it. But I got to hold it for a moment or two, and then they slapped my hand and said, give it back. And it was just awesome. That was a beautiful gun.
Yeah, no, they're super, super nice guns. Man, when we were at the NRA show, I was all over that gun. I mean, it's like a Glock 19 size, but, 15+1, I mean, beautiful gun trigger, and you can get custom colors. And the cool thing that they offered that maybe a lot of people don't know, but if you order it, you can order it with a larger grip, and you can actually order it with your trigger reach. So you can have a regular, a medium, and a large trigger reach, a long. And I was like, it's freaking brilliant, man, for people with big ass fingers and stuff like that. I mean, it would work for however you wanted it set up. And I thought that was brilliant. But yes, beautiful gun.
It's called the DVC Carry.
Yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey. Bald is saying that it's overrated. You know, overrated or not, I don't know. I don't think there are enough people out there that have even seen one for it to be overrated. But it felt, I mean, just racking the slide was just glass. It was like it was on bearings. I mean, it was it really was truly exquisite. It felt so great in the hand. It's a smaller gun, but it felt really good. I mean, I thought it was freaking awesome. And it was a double stack. I mean, it was pretty badass.
I've never shot anything bad from Wilson Combat. I mean, their stuff is super nice. I haven't owned anything from them, but
okay, so hang on just a second. Music is asking if it is a. I was going to do. Is it a 1911? So hold that thought a moment. We're going to do this again. It's the new trick we've learned here. So application window. There we go, and share, and that's what it is right there. I think it's just. I think it's a damn good looking gun. I just think it's really, really cool. So that's it.
Yeah. And supposedly when we talked to them, that's with the standard mag, but they're supposed to come out with a +2, and I would definitely want it with the +2 just to have the extra length. But and the cool thing is it's basically a 1911, but as you notice, there's no grip safety on the back, which is awesome.
Right.
That thing felt awesome in my hand, and I walked over the table a couple of times, almost going to order one, but they have. What was the weight on it? It's like 8 months. It's an 8-month wait, but you can have everything custom ordered, your color, whatever you want. So,
right.
But yeah, they're not cheap. What was that one? Question. Yeah, James Rowe has a 4-inch Python he bought in 1992. Hang on to that.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, hang on to that.
Anacondas and pythons are gold.
Yeah, they are awesome. But yeah, that STI, I believe that's the one with the front sight tracker, or where it's got the comp built. They have one with the comp built in it and the sight where it's all milled into the housing. It's kind of all one piece. That's really a cool looking STI. But of course, Bald's saying STIs are junk because he's got an Infinity and all this other stuff. So
we can all dream.
Yeah, I think they're nice. I think they're nice pistols, and they're made in Texas. Woohoo!
Nice.
This beat. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. 6. Do I have big hands? I think he meant big hands.
I don't know. Do you? I don't think you ever say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and what's that? I can't remember. Harry's on here, and he'll. I'm not a revolver guy. I own some, but I'm just not a revolver guy. But there was a Nighthawk custom, and I can't remember the exact name of it, revolver that was all tacked out. It had like rails milled into it and shit. And that was probably the coolest revolver I've ever seen. I can't remember the name of it, but when he told me the price, I about fell over. They're made in Germany. And that thing was awesome. I want to say it was like $6,000 for a revolver, $7,000.
What's the new?
A Korth. That's what it is, Korth.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's that new Lionheart gun out that just came out again?
Yeah, I'm not in. Well, yeah, the one you can pick your color of barrel, your color of frame, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, somebody was talking about that a little while ago. What's it called?
Harry was talking about it.
Yeah, what's the?
Yeah, it's the Lionheart Generation or something like that.
Regulus.
Okay, yeah.
You guys have me so curious. I'm out there just kind of hunting and pecking for firearms here. Those are actually pretty freaking cool looking.
Yeah, but they're not cheap. That's for sure. I mean, their Lionhearts are nice. I don't think now. I don't know if this one has a better trigger, but I'm not super impressed with the standard Lionheart triggers.
You are smart to know that this is a Lionheart.
There you go.
Yeah.
Apparently, Graham Bates had one.
I think he's got a couple of them.
Yeah, they're kind of cool looking.
Yeah. I've only dry fired them. I've never shot one.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice looking gun. I would consider that. What do those go for, price wise?
Yeah, I'm looking to see. I don't know.
I thought they were like 800 and something for the.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, if you're fully customizing it, and you have options like gold threaded barrels and things like that, that's not a bad price as long as it's a good gun. And I've always heard decent things about.
No, that was for the base one. That's the base one. I don't know how much. Yeah, that's where they start out in the base.
Okay.
No, all that other stuff's extra.
Yeah, I'd have to do a little bit of research on that just to
Oh, okay. Greg's saying they're $1,500.
Holy crap! No, thanks.
Yeah, for the Regulus.
Spend a couple more dollars, get a TSO.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're into that kind of carry, but you kind of look at it and say, okay, what's the Lionheart Regulus going to do that maybe another double action, single action doesn't do? And also, it has a weird safety on it. It's kind of it's like it's backwards or something. It's kind of weird. I had to play with it for a little while to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah, $750 for the base. That's what I thought. Yeah, they're not cheap. And I've seen them used for like $590, just the regular ones.
Yeah.
And kind of playing around with them, but I didn't really think they were all that spectacular. Cabot 1911s, yeah, those are sweet. Hell, I would like to have the double 1911, but I think they have they don't run correctly or something, but they look cool.
They don't run correctly?
Yeah, the 1911s where it's two 1911s put together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they used to. Who made those? They were made in Italy. I can't remember the company. I thought they went out of business and somebody else bought them.
I don't know.
But Pop says the TSO is a decent pistol.
I should say it is.
Yeah, I think he does pretty well with it too.
That is an understatement. I have to say, it's a damn fine firearm.
Yeah.
17, how you doing there, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm just listening. You know, if I have something to give you, I will. I don't really have anything, you know. I mean, I don't have any experience with TSOs or any of that other stuff. You know, I'm a low end guy.
You had experience with the Shadow 2.
Yeah, Shadow too, but I mean, you know, you know how I feel about those guns. To me, they're niche guns. I don't personally feel like it's something I need, but you know, I appreciate everybody who has them. You know, that's for sure because they're nice shooting guns. But you know, if you're going and you're competing, absolutely, 100%. I would love to shoot the TSO because I am interested in that gun. Just from what I'm seeing, and you know, I watch Pops running it, and Pops, man, I got to give him a lot of credit because he's made such amazing improvements on running those courses. So every time I watch his videos, man, I'm always like, man, I'm happy for him, man, because he's worked so hard to get better and better.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's awesome. You know, but
hell, he's turned his bedroom into a dry firing gallery. He had to remove all the mirrors that were on the ceiling. He took all those off and put targets everywhere. So
the purple floor carpets and everything. But yeah, man, I'd love to shoot a TSO one day, but you know, I personally just wouldn't buy it, you know. But yeah, I'd love to shoot it. Sure.
He said he'll sell you his TSO for a good deal.
Yeah.
9mm.
What are you talking, like $150, man? Or?
Probably not.
So John was asking what gun shop. It's Walk Hill River Small Arms. I think he had a couple of them actually.
Okay, I have a very important question to ask. Mateo is saying that that he may get another Steyr. Mateo, how many Steyrs do you have, man?
He's got a lot.
You got a lot of Steyrs. That's impressive.
No, it's funny. Somebody reached out to me and they were talking about the Steyr, and if they were asking me should they pick up a 357, and it was, you know, it was one of the older, newer Steyrs, if that makes sense. And if you're a Steyr guy, you know what I'm talking about. And he showed me the price, and the person was asking $800 for a Steyr. I think it was an M9 and 357. And I told him, you're an idiot if you pay that. I said, first off, go out and you get yourself a 40 caliber. And I showed him the link to the website where they're actually selling 357 barrels. You know, so for $100, you get a barrel, you buy the gun, and it's still $300-400 cheaper than what that guy was asking for. So I just sometimes I just shake my head. You know, people get crazy, you know, trying to sell these guns that they don't make when you just have to get a workaround and you just have to be smart about it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they had a three. I would love to shoot one in the 357, you know, just to see how. I'd love to see one in a 10mm. That'd be dope. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it is getting on about that time. We're just about at the 8 o'clock hour. So you guys want to wrap this up?
Sure.
Go ahead, Big J.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for one, I appreciate all the subscribers being on here and enjoying this with us and giving us great questions. And, you know, if you haven't subscribed to all the subscribers and all the other channels out there, please do so. Click their icon, go to channel and sub. They have great content too. And we do this every Wednesday night. If we have new subscribers, you know, please come and join us. We rotate channels, and follow us all on Instagram. We put up a lot of stuff that we don't do videos on. And enjoy this. And I've got a big surprise coming up for my subscribers. So I will announce that coming up very, very soon. And got some other videos coming out. And that's basically what I've got going on right now.
17.
Going to do a couple of videos on some handguns. I got the M&P in the 45, put the Apex trigger in it already. So I'm going to be shooting that. I can't wait to shoot that. I'm really excited about this one. And then obviously with the P07, the Glock 19, just a couple other things. I was sent, this is what I was playing around with, was the stupid recoil and guide rod spring on the Glock. But I wound up getting a couple of these from DPM Systems again. And I want to test those out, make sure the guns run smooth. And, you know, I am a believer in them because I really do think the slides run a little bit more effectively. And I think that's why I've had so many good experiences with the Steyr because of that fact. So I'm going to run those. And that's really about it. You know, something else comes up. Oh, and I'm also going to be shooting that M1A again because I put a scope on it and I need to sight that scope in at some point. So, you know, I'll do my best to shoot that straight.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, as always, you guys, thank you all very much for hanging out with us on another Wednesday night. It's always a lot of fun. You guys always have great questions. Really appreciate that. Like everything that all the other guys said. And yeah, a lot of good stuff on the way, including the Rock Island Armory. Actually picked up a new Glock. We'll maybe talk about that at a later time. And just quite a few other things as well. So again, you guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And we will definitely see you next Wednesday.
Carry on, everyone.
Hello.
Bye, guys.
Bye.